Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's the weekend. It's Mary Payne here with Amy Archer, Little Miss Recap. This
Hey,
is the
girl.
episode we call Hey Bunky.
Hey, Bunky.
Hey Bunky.
Going out to all you prisoners out there.
This is going to be a video episode, so if you want to see us barely awake and for me, the clothes I slept in, go for it.
I didn't sleep in these clothes, but it looks like I did. So,
Yeah,
but as I
yeah,
told Mary Payne, I don't care. I'm married.
right. Nobody's coming after these two hot ladies.
That's a little running joke that Timmy and I have. Like, he'll be like, "Oh, do I have to shower before we go out to eat?" I'm married. So apparently it's okay, like, if you just don't groom yourself at all
Oh,
because you're
okay.
married. Yeah,
Okay.
nobody
Well,
cares.
that does in fact make sense. Yeah, we have a lot of those conversations around here.
Yeah.
I usually like to have my little lamp over here on, but
Mm.
the bulb went out, and you know what? Just too lazy to go get another one, but I will. Oh,
I have
look
my
at
little
that.
sign.
Yeah, cute.
I think, like, Jesus is speaking to me through my window here.
I think so.
I don't know what this thing is called in the sky, this bright orange thing, but
Mm.
it's happening today in Northeast Pennsylvania. It has not happened in about 10 days.
Oh, go outside and just like
Mhm.
put your
Yeah.
face in it like Natalie on that hypnotherapy. Just
Mhm.
turn your face to the sun and soak it up.
Get some vitamin D.
Yeah, Natalie needs some vitamin D, the other
Mm.
kind. I don't have too much to report. Tomorrow is my husband's birthday.
Mm.
The 3 of us are going out to dinner,
Oh,
eh,
so he's a, Aquarius?
I guess. I don't know.
So is Timmy. Timmy's birthday is February 17th.
Ah,
Look
Dave,
at that.
February 8th.
Mhm.
And yeah, so we're just 3 of us are going out to dinner, and that's it because John's
That'll
not
be nice.
here. And I invited his his friends of choice that
Yeah.
we could go to dinner with, but they're gonna be out of town, and then I was like, "Well, let's just go out on Sunday." "Oh, great, we're gonna go out on Sunday." We totally made plans for Sunday, and then Dave's like, "You do know
It's the
Sunday's the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl." I was like,
The
"Oh,
Eagles have to win the Super Bowl. Listen, here 2 things are gonna happen on Sunday. The
uh,
Eagles are gonna win the Super Bowl,
okay,
and, Travis Kelce's going to propose to Taylor Swift on the 50-yard line during halftime.
okay." One of those things might happen. It definitely won't be the
And
second
then
one.
a new artist who I've just been introduced to named Kendrick Lamar is
Mm,
going to perform, apparently.
okay, well, he has won,
He
like,
won a Pulitzer.
a Pulitzer for
Mhm.
his lyrics. Yeah, his lyrics are incredible, and
Mhm. I had a very embarrassing episode on my podcast last week where both Amanda and I had no idea. We heard of him, but we had no idea who he was or what he did.
yeah, I know Anna has been to see him. I
Yeah.
don't know if John has, but
Well,
Anna's definitely been out to see him. Yeah.
I've been introduced,
Yeah.
and he's hot and he's a real good writer. So I
He's an
was missing
incredible
out.
writer.
Mhm.
Yeah, he did, you should, like, look up if you wanna, like, deep dive into something that would entertain you, is all the diss tracks he did about Drake.
Well, there's like a video. I forget which celebrity it is who they had their son explain
Mm,
the whole war between
yeah,
these 2. The
mhm,
Monkeys will know who I'm talking about. It I wanna say it's like it's not Bob Saget because he's dead, RIP, but
uh-huh.
it's maybe Tom Hanks, maybe his son explained everything to him.
Okay.
There's a TikTok with this kid explaining everything to their celebrity father of the war between the 2 gentlemen
I'd like to
and
see
what went
that.
down.
A
Yes.
recap is good because sometimes
Yes.
I listen to the Smith Sisters on Radio
Mhm.
Andy, and when it was really going on, they were talking about it. It was hilarious.
Mhm.
So I do like to get, and sometimes I would listen to Kiki Monique, the Talk of Shame. Sometimes she would talk about it. This is
Mm.
where I got to get my news in my little bites because
Okay.
actual news will send me into a spiral that I will never come out of.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I am in my life at this
Mhm.
moment. Yeah, I had a full, breakdown. Keisha and I talked about it. I think we talked about it on the stuff that we're doing for Love is Blind. I got mad about the pantry, but I wasn't mad about the pantry. I
Mm.
mean, I was, in
Mhm.
fact, mad about
Mhm.
the pantry, but I
Mhm.
was mad about the state of the world. So, yeah, that's going on. So, there's that.
Do you have a nice bathtub in your house that you could take to your bath
Well, you
when
do
you're
know
upset?
LOL in my bath remodel, we took the bathtub out because we
That's
hate it,
right. I
hate it.
remember that. Yeah.
Now, yeah, we have 2 other bathtubs in this house. There's a bathtub in John's bathroom, and then there's a bathtub in our basement, in the basement bathroom.
Because you're a lady of a certain age. You need to take to the tub sometimes. That's what I do.
I
I
had
might be buried in my bathtub. I'm starting to rethink my plan of being cremated and thrown onto a whale. I think now I might want to be buried in my bathtub.
well, here's the thing, you're a bath person or you're not. Like, my sister
I
is
agree.
a bath person, and my other
Mm,
sister also just took the giant tub out of her bathroom as well.
okay. All right.
So, you
Was it
are or you're
Taft?
not.
Was it President Taft that they had to get him out of his bathtub? He got stuck in there?
Why
Wasn't
would you
there
I don't know anything about
wasn't
history.
there a story? But the bunkies will know. Again, the bunkies will know.
Why? Because he was so huge, he got wedged in?
Yeah, and, like, tubs were just not made for people of size at that point,
Uh-huh, yeah.
and so he had, like, a little bitty tub, and I
Uh-huh.
think he got stuck in it, and they had to get him out of there, and that's always my biggest fear, that I'm
But
gonna get stuck in my tub and fire department's gonna have to come.
yeah, I don't think you're at that point, Amy, but I that's silly. But also with him being so large in a bit little tub, how much water was in there? It sounds like he was taking up all the space.
I have no idea. I have no idea. This has been American history with Amy and Mary Payne.
Yeah, and it ends
Mhm.
with, "We have no idea."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
very
I
much.
did get a
Mhm.
minor in history, but means nothing.
Okay. Alright.
All that information has been pushed right out for reality TV knowledge. Oh,
But I
Lord.
think I can use my tub as a coffin. Like, you
Oh,
could just smush my body down there, put the dirt on top of it, maybe
mhm.
grow something. I could be like a living planter. Just my corpse will be rotting at the bottom of the tub.
Yeah, I think that would be a problem because dogs will be hitting
This is
on their
dark.
bathtub
This is
all over.
dark. Okay,
Yeah.
we're done.
Mhm,
Let's move
mhm.
on.
I think you can make it a living planter and spread your ashes in the planter.
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah, I don't
mhm.
think your actual rotting body needs to be in the planter.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Spread my ashes in the planter of the tub, and then, I'm not one of these people who's, like, saying to my husband, "You just go on and be happy once I'm dead." No.
Oh, no,
He's
I'm
gotta
not.
carry me around with him. I
Mhm.
want the ashes around his neck.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've said
Mhm,
that a million
mhm.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need you to be happy with somebody else.
No.
You're barely happy with me. Come on now.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the state of all of our shows this month? Because 'Cause we're getting a lot.
I'm
We're getting Yellow
overwhelmed.
Jackets, we're getting
Mhm.
Love is Blind, we're getting The
Wh
Baldwins, which I'm not watching.
White
We're getting the
Lotus.
new 90 Day. We're getting,
White
like, just
Lotus.
White Lotus, so
Mhm.
much stuff, so many documentaries. We're getting Gabby Petito, we have the new OJ.
The OJ
We
I need to watch, that's on my list, but the problem is if I'm like, "Okay, I've got, like, an hour and I could watch
Mhm,
something just for myself," I'm
mhm,
so distracted. I'm just,
mm.
like, on
Are
my
you playing Match Factory?
no, I'm not I'm Sneaky Sasquatch. I know you told me
Okay,
about Match
okay,
Factory, and it's on my list of it's on a piece of paper downstairs with all the
okay,
things I need.
okay.
Um, no, but I and then I get distracted, so I'm not watching it, and
I understand.
I need to focus. Now, pretty much feel like I'm an OJ expert, and I don't need to
Mhm,
know anything else,
mhm.
but I'll watch it anyway.
Well, I was talking with Ryan Bailey this week, and he has already seen it, and he told me there is something of interest you might wanna see.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm
I
gonna
said,
watch
"Okay."
it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm going to. Because I got the 3 episodes of Love is Blind done already and 3 more
Mhm,
to go next week, but I've watched all 6.
mhm.
Um,
It's gonna be a good season, guys.
when I tell you guys, when that shit drops on February 14th, you need to get to your Netflix, watch it right away,
And then
and
watch one episode, come over and listen to Mary Payne cover it, then watch
yes,
another, then come over and listen. You could do it
yep,
like that.
yeah, and the problem is that after I watched 3 and took the notes, I zipped through 4, 5, 6 just
Mhm.
watching it because I had to know what happened.
I know, I know.
And that was a problem because then when I was doing the recap, I was like, you'll see
Mhm.
later." And that's
Yes,
bad, and that's
yes.
why I don't usually do it like that, but I had to know what was gonna happen. It's that good. It's that good.
Well, what I do is, and this is, inside baseball, no one really cares, but I watch 1 through 6 real quick, like on 2.0. And
Mm,
then so I know who the couples are going to the
okay,
thing.
uh-huh,
Then I go back, I watch
mhm.
them backwards, and I trace their stories, how they got there.
Okay, well, that takes a lot
It's
of work.
insanity. It's
Yeah.
insanity.
I just
Mhm.
watch it all once through, like, before bed, and then the next day, I will watch it once through doing the notes.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when you're at the beginning of a show like this, when there are no lie, this is not an exaggeration, 32 cast members.
Yeah.
Um, but, Keisha right away was like, "I bet after the 3rd episode, we won't see any new people." I go, "There's 32 people. They have to introduce new couples or whatever," but they didn't.
No, and I will tell you, it's not a very diverse cast.
Well, that's what Keisha was like. There's a
Yeah,
lot of salt, not a lot of pepper.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But
And
it's gonna be good.
maybe that's how it is in Minneapolis. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
No clue.
But it's good, everybody. I highly recommend watching it, listening to the recaps over on Pink Shade Prime with Keisha. We had a great time doing it, and,
Are you going
throat
to
hurts.
brag to the bunkies about what happened to you on Instagram? Because you had something big happen on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh,
So,
uh-huh.
I took to the gram last night while I was watching Last Resort, taking
Mhm,
the notes for today. I'd already watched it, but I was doing it for the notes, and I posted the picture of Florian when Josh is saying, I've never done anything wrong. I have nothing to apologize for at all." And Florian literally goes, "Oh, look at this angel boy. Oh, he's so perfect. How wonderful." He
Oh,
like
look at this angel boy. So
yeah,
perfect, so
it
perfect.
and I screenshot that with his
Mhm,
giant blinding teeth
mhm,
and said, "Florian is a comedic genius, and I won't hear otherwise."
mm,
And
mm.
you know what he posted? Within 4 minutes, he posted the little smiley face with the hearts all over it.
He didn't post it.
He
He
replied.
replied to you in a private you're in his DMs.
Yeah, I'm in his DMs. If Stacy
Florian
if
slid
Stacy
into your DMs.
if Stacy sees it, she's gonna be like, "Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? She's sending hearts too." Yeah,
Oh, Mary Payne, you've arrived.
me and Florian,
You've
that's
arrived.
it. Oh, and besides that, also, my Instagram got hacked and somebody made a new one.
Saw that.
So, yeah.
Mhm,
So Matt
mhm,
said that means I'm famous. I think it means, somebody's desperate. So they posted a picture of me that's literally from 2 years ago with okay,
mhm,
so I don't
mhm,
even know where that picture came from actually, and that picture of me, then the little circle at the top, which would be
mhm.
like your logo or whatever,
Right,
is some grandpa and 2 kids. I don't know who those people are. Not
right.
It's not
Yeah.
my family.
It's somebody's family.
S And then when you click the story, it's a picture of my friend Mary from a party at my house. I was like, "All right, Mary, at least you made it over to the hack."
So my friend and now your friend, Ace Fanning,
Yes.
he was on Instagram the other day showing that his old Facebook got hacked, and he's like, "I'm letting it go because I kind of want to see what life I have here." And he was like showing everybody what this person had like a whole new career for him, a whole new family. He's like, we're just gonna ride this out, see what it looks like.
That's so funny. Yeah, so if anybody sees this, it says like Mary Raki Payne, Mary Reiki Payne,
Mm, mm,
uh 220. If you see that, it ain't me.
yeah.
Please report it as
Yeah.
impersonating someone you know. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I've done that. Matt said it could take up to a week. So there's
Okay.
that. And it was interesting when that happened to my son. Somebody took
Mhm.
over his actual Instagram.
Yeah, that's scary.
It was like, "You have to give us, like, $700 to get it back." And John, like, sent him $50. I
No.
was like, "What are you doing?
No. You
Aren't you
just
the
call their bluff and say, "Fuck you, I'm starting a new one."
aren't you the generation that's supposed to know about this stuff?" I was like,
Yeah.
"I, the
Yeah.
elder, am telling you not to do that?"
Mhm. My mother would have done that. She would have given them her Social Security number and $700.
I went into the Social Security, website this morning to just
Mm.
make sure everything was still there
Um,
and printed it out. Yeah,
are you ready to go to the resort? I
I
almost
am.
called it the Manor, Mary Payne.
Mm.
How dare I
Well,
besmirch MILF Manor in
I
that
have
way?
been calling it, Therapy Island, but
Mhm.
because they're not on an island, it doesn't really fit, but I'm still gonna call it Therapy
But
Island.
Real Therapy Island is coming back
What's
with
that?
Mark K.H. Wahlberg.
Oh, Temptation Island sure
Mhm.
is.
Now that's
Mhm.
whenever you say Therapy Island, that's what I think of.
I need to ask him. I need to ask him, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
writing it
please
down
ask him how it's dropping.
because if it drops like 6 at once, I'm going to revolt, but I wonder if they'll
'Cause
drop
it's
like
moving to Netflix, guys, that's why we're
yeah,
thinking.
yeah, because it's moving to Netflix, which means God knows what they're gonna be able to show. God knows what they're gonna show.
Oh, I'm excited.
If you tried to mute for that cough, it did not work.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't care. I just wanted to let you know that if you
Okay.
you thought you're
Well,
mute.
now I know. I can mute manually on the screen.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, guys.
Amy has a new computer,
You
so
had my gross cough. Sorry.
well, no, you've got a new computer, so I just wanted to let you
Mhm.
know what's doing over
Won't
there.
happen again.
Won't happen again. How
Won't happen
dare
again.
you? Okay, so let's get into 90 Day, The Last Resort, Season 2, Episode 10, Lasting Effects. Okay,
Mm.
lasting effects. So Julia has,
Can I interrupt you before you start?
sure,
I felt like this episode wasn't great,
it
and I
wasn't.
don't have high hopes for the rest of the season. Are you feeling the same way?
No, because I can't think that way.
But once Darcy comes, maybe it'll get real good.
Yeah, I can't think that way. I can't think like, oh my God, we've got a whole nother month and a half of this because then I'll just start hate watching and being real awful
I
about the whole.
understand.
And I like to be joyous about my shows.
But this episode was not great.
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
It
we'll
wasn't.
make it fun though. Let's go.
So, Julia has just admitted that she cheated, but she said she and Brandon were in a long distance relationship and they had only
Mhm.
met a few times and she didn't know if he was ever coming back.
Mm.
It was 5 years ago. So when you hear it that way, you're like, okay, was it really cheating? Did they say they were in a committed relationship or was it just sort of like, so unclear, right?
Unclear.
When she's explaining it, you're like, why'd you even fucking tell him?
Well, so on Between the Sheets, Brandon and Rob are sitting together, and
Okay.
Brandon says, "We were engaged. We had already filed for the K1 visa."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
he is disputing Julia's account of it being, we were just, we were just
I'd
dating
like
or
to,
whatever. He's like, no,
well,
no, no. And Rob goes, "Ooh, yeah, she should have taken that one to the grave."
but engaged meaning like, let's file for the K1 visa and see how it goes, and then we'll get engaged. Or had he gotten on a knee, given her a ring, they'd met the whole family. I think it's
I
very
believe he proposed to her already. But I will tell you something, and this is going to
murky.
make you want to throw your microphone across the room when I tell you.
Okay, what?
Ari and Stacy are sitting together, and Ari goes, "Yeah, he's being selfish bringing this up. Like, why is she digging up the past?"
Wait, who?
Ari says, "Why is Julia digging up the past? Just let sleeping dogs lie." What?
Oh.
What?
Well,
Ari's whole storyline has been trying to find out who Benny cheated on her in 1997 or on her with in 1997 for 3 weeks.
disagree.
Mm, mm,
Disagree
mm,
about Ari. Listen, I'm not an Ari apologist, but I think she has been through so much shit with this guy. And
mm.
she did go to Therapy Island thinking it was literally the last resort,
Yeah.
last hope, but
Yeah.
she's got to let it go.
Okay.
Just give me my passwords. So, she said about Brandon, at that time, she didn't know it would be serious, that she would move there, that they would get married, that it would go as far
Mhm.
as it did.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
in my mind, she doesn't
Lies.
you
I'm just kidding.
in my mind, at the time, she didn't think of it as cheating, but now sometimes with reflection, she's like, "You know what? He would think it
Mm,
was cheating."
mm.
So it has been eating her alive.
Well, it sounds too like it's been something they've been talking about. And you and I talked about this. Like it's something, some sticking point in their marriage that they've gone over
Yeah.
several times. And
Mhm.
she's like, "I'm just coming clean with it. I'm done."
In the talking head, Brandon's like, "This is the worst thing she could do to me. Like, it's the one thing I can't abide by is cheating, and it physically hurts me to think about it." So I've been there. I know how that feels, Brandon.
He
It's
wishes
terrible.
that he says on Between the Sheets, "I wish she let me die in a fool's paradise."
Yeah, everybody wishes she would not have told this.
And I'm like, "Can I get into a fool's paradise, involving my daughters? Like just
Mm.
turn a blind eye to everything that's going on in their lives?"
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with the news. It feels good.
Okay, all right.
Just
We're
just
here in the fool's paradise together.
yeah, just bury your head in the sand and keep working and hoping
Okay,
for a beach house. I mean, that's
there
what
we
I'm
go.
doing anyway.
Yep, just keep putting it away.
Yeah, found a perfect one, by the way.
Mm,
Perfect.
mhm, mhm.
Literally dream. Dream location,
$2
dream
million.
everything. 2.35.
Mhm. Well,
So
Pink Shade LLC, I mean, just
that's about 2 million more than we can afford. So
okay, gotcha.
Everybody, buy your Hello Lash and use code PinkShade20. That's gonna get me there. All right, so, by the way, this morning, Anna's like, "Your eyelashes are crazy, they're so long." I was like, "I know." And I said to her,
Oh.
I go, "PinkShade20, use the code." She's like, "Girl, just give it to me for free."
Ugh.
Um,
Stop asking me for freebies.
yeah, no, everybody's gotta buy it.
I gave you your life.
Yeah. By the way, I offered Amy free Hello Lash, and she didn't want it, so
Yeah. I'm married.
exactly, I'm married, what do I care? Um, so Sarah
Mm.
should we just dip into Sarah real fast before we get into her hocus pocus?
Sure. So it has come out. I don't
Mhm.
wanna say where we found this information out, but it has
Reddit.
been revealed that Sarah
It was Reddit.
is trying to give cancer patients, what is it? Is it horse tranquilizers?
It's
What is
ivermectin, it's what you treat ivermectin is what you give your dogs
horse
every month for
tranquilizers?
their heartworm
Yes.
medication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Literally, when you pull out your dog's heartworm medication, it says ivermectin.
So she's suggesting this to cancer patients, and cancer patients, when they say like, no, thank you, I think I'm going to go the chemo route or whatever, which is
Mhm.
their business,
Of course.
she's then attacking them.
If you wanna poison your body and kill
Wow.
yourself in a different way, blah,
Wow.
blah, blah, and
Yeah.
if you wanna look at what they are telling you,
Hmm.
it was some wacky stuff this person posted and said, like, "I've known her for a long time, and she first of all, she's not a medical doctor in any shape or form.
Hmm.
She's a
Hmm.
at best, she's a hypnotherapist,
Hmm.
and she's out there giving medical advice to someone she knew to take heartworm medication for their cancer."
And my whole thing is like, look, she could, so if I, God forbid, I had this diagnosis, if somebody reached out and was like, I know alien urine can cure cancer,
Okay.
I'd be like, "Okay, fine, whatever. Thank you, but I'm not doing that." It would be like the
Yeah.
worst thing she did, in my opinion, was the response.
It was the
In
double down, and
Right,
you're
instead of just,
stupid.
yeah, instead of just being like, "Okay, I respect your decision. It's your body. It's all,
You're
you're
dumb.
part of the machine. You're in the matrix." That kind of situation.
It was wild.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
wild, and so
Not a good look. Not a good look.
just not doing a lot of research, and by the way, where are James and Reba and the blonde lady,
I
Heidi?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
They seem
Heidi, I
to
think I think Heidi is been thrown in a van and taken somewhere in that desert
I
because
you guys, these
I don't know.
3, James, as dramatic as he is, the 3 of them do seem to be real therapists with good advice.
Yes. James
Where
is
did this woman
James
come
is
from?
doing the most.
Mhm.
Mm.
Either James has the best Botox in the world, or he has been, drinking the blood of babies because his skin
Mm.
is silky smooth.
Yeah, I
Nothing
agree.
no nothing moves.
Mm-mm.
So, all right, Sarah. Okay, so Sarah asks, Julia, "How would you do it differently? Like, how did it play out differently in your mind?" And she goes, "Well, I just would have not met up with the guy, and, I wouldn't have told Brandon, but it's continuing to hurt me more and more and more." And Sarah goes, "But it's not about how it hurt you." And she goes,
Mhm.
"I know, and now I've hurt him too." So she's
Yeah.
quickly realizing the error of
Yeah.
her ways.
Yeah.
So in the talking head, Brandon and Julia are sitting there, and he says, "Why did you tell me after all this time?" And she says, "Because, we're working on the relationship. We're here for therapy. I need to be open." She's really embraced therapy.
Yeah.
Um, and that's great. But
She might be somebody who actually takes this and goes home and is like, "I wanna keep doing it." Like, it
I
was
want to
really
use the
cool.
tools that I learned.
Yeah.
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 So Sarah's like, "We can address this away from the group."
Yeah.
And they're literally like, "We met you yesterday at a sandbox. Who are you?" Um,
Where's James? Where's
where
James?
is James? So now we go to Sophie. And she says, "Mine was a time when I had an argument with Rob in front of a friend of mine. And I
Okay.
brought it, of course, Kay. And I brought up personal things that he had told me.
Mm.
I betrayed his trust. It wasn't my thing to tell. And if I could do it again, I wouldn't relay his personal business. It wasn't my place." And he kind of nods and she goes, "And I'm sorry because I can tell that that really hurt your feelings." And he says his thing was the first time any girl sent him anything inappropriate when yeah, I think it was like COVID lockdown and she was in
Yes.
England and he was in his warehouse apartment and he was like the first time anybody sent me anything appropriate, I shouldn't have responded. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I started that up because it changed everything. And I wanted to be the right guy and do the right thing, but I fucked it all up by doing that even the first time.
And in the moment, I believed him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Mhm.
And the talking head, she says, Rob has apologized so many times with the online cheating, but this time I feel like he really regrets it, and it feels nice. It feels like he's trying.
Mhm.
Stacy says she replays a moment where she hurt Florian by saying out loud the first time ever she wanted to get a divorce, and she knows that those words really, really hurt him.
He banged another woman and had
Twice.
it on video and
Twice.
showed it, and it got to you. I do
Mhm.
want to go back for 1 second though about the online cheating because
Online cheating.
because Natalie so they play it for between the sheets, and
Yeah.
Natalie's sitting there with Jasmine, and Natalie goes, I feel like Sophie did nothing wrong because, or no, she goes, I feel like Rob did nothing wrong because Sophie had an affair with Josh. And Jasmine goes, that is not what happened here.
She's so crazy.
She goes, Sophie was innocent. Josh is the creep. And then Sophie says, we talked about the online cheating, and he just, I think, he's apologized before, but I really felt he was genuine in the moment. But then I found out he's doing other stuff. So this is what we see at the end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Florian says he wishes he could take back the time that he cheated. And he says, I wish I know can do it. I never met her, never happened. I
Woulda,
reply,
coulda, shoulda.
I reply, for example, shoulda, coulda. You know what I'm saying, for example.
Mhm.
And then we get a flashback of the two of them, Stacy 3 faces ago.
She's like unrecognizable.
She looks incredible.
Yeah.
She looks incredible.
I get people like me get plastic surgery to look like she used to look.
It's just, you guys, we could do a whole episode. It is tragic.
Yeah.
And it is more tragic with Darcy than it is with Stacy.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm sorry. I apologize and I love you. She's like, love you too.
Love you.
So, Josh, what's your moment? He goes, just really trying to think of a moment, just really digging deep, trying to think of a moment when Natalie was hurt, and
I got nothing.
I coming up blank. I can't think of anything where I wasn't justified. So no, I don't have anything.
So Natalie is watching this back, and she's very surprised. And she says, in the moment, I was very surprised. I thought he would say he's sorry for not wanting to commit to me, for stringing me around for 3 years without any plans, for not putting me in his future plans, for not spending holidays with me, for not showing me his house, for not letting me in his life, for calling me crazy all over the place, for saying he loves me and it's not true. And Jasmine just goes, wow. Okay.
For that time
He's
he
an
flirted with
asshole.
for that time he flirted with Chantel at the restaurant.
She goes, he deserves to be kicked in the balls. Jasmine does that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sarah says, so you think you've never done anything to hurt her, even unintentionally? So that's his way. He could be like, okay, unintentionally, maybe I did.
Yeah, she's giving him a ramp in there.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, no. The only time she was upset recently, no, we could name 6 things she's been upset about in the last day.
Mary Payne, this guy is such a fragile male ego. He's such a douchebag.
And also, you guys, it's fake. They're not a couple.
They're not a couple. He just wants to use her. I think he is breadcrumbing her. I think he is terrorizing her to keep her on the hook. In other words, if this is a business arrangement for him to just be on the show, I think he knows that it is. Yes. I don't know if she knows that it is.
She knows.
I don't know.
She totally knows.
Maybe.
She totally knows. They've got a total business arrangement.
But he is the worst of the worst. And I apologize again that I was attracted to him for 2.5 seconds.
But here's the thing too. It is a business arrangement, but I think that in this situation, she's getting paid more because she's been on a lot more seasons.
Yeah.
And he's a B character. So he's just like, sure, I can get the $10,000 from Matt Sharp. Who cares? Yeah. But she's probably getting $40,000 from Matt Sharp.
Mm.
That's probably how much they're getting for this season, and anything to keep her on one more season. So maybe she gets on the single life. So maybe she gets another 90 Day Fiance. Like, you know what I mean?
How much are we going to pay them when we host Please Break Up?
Well, they're not allowed to come on.
Okay.
They're
They're
banned.
not even allowed to come in.
No, you
Okay.
guys, if you don't know, Amy and I are doing a new show. It's called 90 Day Fiance. PBU stands for Please Break Up. Ari and
Hosted in
Benny.
Mary Payne's basement?
No, right here in this office.
Oh, okay.
Can't let this wallpaper go to waste. The couples will come in. We'll explain to them why they need to break up.
Mhm.
Ari and Benny are number 1.
Mhm.
Jasmine and
Mhm.
Gino are number 2.
They have to sign something. We have notarized forms there that says they have to break up.
They have to break up.
Mhm.
They're going to sit on this couch and I'm going to explain it to them. We have demanded it as 90 Day Podcasters.
Yes, and they're
We
not
need-
allowed to leave until they sign those forms.
Yeah, and we need assurance that they're never coming back to our television. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, okay. So, he says, I replay the whole Sophie Vegas thing and still, nope, wouldn't do anything different. And
Mm-mm.
Natalie goes, and Florian's like, Natalie, so lucky. This angel, he's so sensitive, this guy.
Mm.
It was so fucking funny. And Josh goes, yeah, it was harmless. It was harmless. And my only fault was I didn't invite her. But at the time, maybe we weren't even on a level where I would go with her. Maybe.
On Between the Sheets, Josh says, look, here's the deal with Natalie. If I start apologizing for stuff, I'm going to be apologizing till I'm 97. So I don't want to get in the habit of apologizing for every little thing. And Jasmine is watching it and she's just like, it is really hard to watch Natalie. Her self-esteem is so low and she's just wasting her time with this guy.
Yeah.
Jasmine hates Josh.
I also don't think the rest of this cast thinks they're a real couple either.
I agree.
And that's why they're like, we are a real couple and actually here to get therapy, even though they're paying us to be here. We actually want to get something out of this,
Agreed.
So in the talking head, Natalie goes, I'm offended as a person and a woman. So Natalie says, okay, so I remember one moment when we fought because he was leaving and I didn't want him to go. I was so mean. And I apologize, but okay. So for her to say I was so mean,
yeah,
what on earth
what
happened if she recognized that she was mean?
Right?
Oh, wow.
Yikes.
So Jasmine says her moment was from a long time ago. It was supposed to be their first Christmas in the United States, and they had an argument, and she ended up going and spending Christmas alone in a hotel room. And she says she was in a lot of pain because it was her first Christmas away from her children and her country. And what she would do different was to let him know how sad and upset she was feeling, and he could help her feel less sad and she could explain it to him in a nice way. And she says, I'm so sorry, Gino, because I've not been the person that you want me to be. And I'm so sorry. And she cries, no tears. And he hugs her, no tears. And she cries and apologizes and says, if we end up together or not, I'm begging you, Gino, please forgive me. I will always love you. And he goes, that's sweet. Go ahead and tell everybody what she said over on Between the Sheets, because it's dark.
It's bonkers.
It's dark.
So on Between the Sheets, Jasmine now claims that she was never in a rundown motel at Christmas and that Gino brainwashed her into believing that this happened. And she's sitting with Brandon. Brandon's like, what?
It's like, he's like, if I was your friend, I would call you and say, run.
And she goes, I went to his family's house and he stayed home to masturbate. And she says she has pics to prove it. And I'm like, pics of him masturbating?
That's what I was like.
On here?
I was like, ooh.
So she shows, and they show us, the viewer, the picture of her with his cousin. And it's, time stamped 12/25/23 or whatever.
Yep.
And Brandon's like, wow, I can't believe he had that much control over you. And now they asked Gino about it. And if it was true, you'd think Gino would be like, what?
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about. But Gino says, or if it wasn't true, I mean. But Gino goes, well, she might have ended up at my cousin's, but I have no idea. Then Florian says, everyone think Gino nice guy because he's citizen and he innocent, but Gino not innocent. And then Rob says, everyone
But
wants us.
everyone thinks he's a nice guy because he's a citizen.
That's what I think.
That's what he said, and I was like,
Okay.
I think he means like an upstanding citizen,
Yeah,
but
yeah. And then the rest is about Gino. But here's my question. Do we think that Gino gaslit Jasmine, who is a very intelligent woman? I know gaslighting doesn't have a lot to do with intellect, it's manipulation. But do we think he gaslit her, or do we think she just like we know their storyline's fake. We know they're in cahoots with this. Did she just say, I'm gonna say this, blah, blah, blah? And then, so it was a lie. And then they filmed between the sheets so much later, and now the arrangement's over. So she's just like trying to explain why she lied about it.
I don't know. I don't know if she just went to the cousins alone and he stayed home to pleasure himself. And then somewhere along the line when they're fighting, he was like, and even on Christmas you left me. And she's like, no, I didn't. I'm with your cousins. He's like, you went to a hotel, or she went to a hotel with a guy.
I don't know.
Again, contestant number 2 on PBU, Gino and Jasmine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just find I don't have a lot of supporting evidence that Gino is some master manipulator who could brainwash people.
I don't either, but their
I don't
relationship
think
is
he's
so
capable of
strange.
it. I think he's just he's not the brightest bulb in the pack.
Or he is, and we just don't know.
I don't know. He could be pulling the strings for this whole thing. Who knows?
So Sarah says, okay, well, that was really great. Thank you for
Mm,
crying with no
mm,
tears,
mhm,
Jasmine.
mhm.
Gino, what's your moment? And he goes, yeah, I do have one. And she goes, okay, so you're going to share it with the group? He goes, yeah, no, I'm not open to sharing it. And
Mm.
Florian goes, say it, Gino. Say it. You're just hurting yourself, Gino. Say it. And Jasmine quietly goes, it will mean a lot to me if you share it, Gino. And he shakes his head, no. And you could hear Florian over going, come on, Gino. Come on, Gino. And Jasmine says the first thing in her mind, because everybody else is talking about cheating, she's like, did you fucking cheat on me? What else could it be?
Mm-hmm.
So Sarah says, Gino, keeping it in your mind only hurts you. It doesn't help your partner. And maybe Jasmine needs to hear it. Jasmine goes, yeah, what is it? Now I want to know. I'm an insecure and jealous person, and now I need to know. And Florian, come on, Gino. Come on.
Come on, Gino. So Rob on Between the Sheets brought up a really good point, actually.
Okay.
He said, I kind of see where Gino's coming from here because, yes, the therapists are creating a safe space for us, but he's not safe from Jasmine. And they can't keep him safe from Jasmine. Like, in other words, when they go back to the hotel, there'll be hell to pay.
Okay.
So I thought that was a pretty good point.
Then just come up with your fake story before it's your turn. You had 30 minutes.
Learn how to lie, dude. Come on. And Sarah says on Between the Sheets that Gino keeps secrets.
Yeah.
And none of them really know him, and it's very concerning. And then Jasmine says, oh, never mind. I have something else. I'll save it.
Okay. Gino says, oh, okay. So one of the times, several times, I got mad at her and said, just go back to Panama. And so that's what I said. And Florian goes, oh, I think he's just making it up. I think he's just making it up. Come on, Gino. So they're all just look at him and they're like, that's not what it was. He goes, yeah, so that's, yeah. But I was like, why did you had 30 minutes before it was your turn? Just say it with conviction. I want to say, I'm really sorry for that time 2 months ago when we had the fight in the kitchen and I said this,
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So Ari says, I don't really know what my thing was because I was going in and out of a dream state. But Ari is very susceptible to hypnotherapy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's into it. And
she's into this.
And she says, I could only think of something in general, like how I've used negative words to describe Benny. I was like, well, you could just go day one.
All the time. Every single time I talk to him.
Day one. Remember, she was like, he's a loser. I mean, she was like, yeah, he's got nothing going on.
I said to you, she's not even just saying he's a loser. She's saying he is a bad person.
She said he's a bad person.
Like that is,
yeah, and maybe he is. And she says, "I'm sorry that I've used only negative words to describe Benny, and I'm sorry for that. And I'm just all I can do is be aware of it and try not to do it in the future. But he is a bad person."
Mm.
And Benny says, "So 5 years ago, I met Ari, but then I also met another girl, and so I didn't stop sending messages to that girl, and it hurt Ari so bad. And I'm thinking like I didn't want to hurt the other girl, but then I hurt Ari, and so I hurt both of them." And she goes, excuse me, what are you talking about?" And he goes, "Yeah, so 5 years ago when you read it in the things." And she goes, "No, because that started after
Uh-uh.
me." She says, "You met me 3 months after you broke up with your wife. So you were in a relationship with that other girl when you were in the relationship with your ex-wife?" And he goes,
And he's kinda like, "Just stop asking me, I'm sorry, let's move on."
"And so for that girl," and she goes, "No, no, no, no. I'm trying to understand because what you're saying is something really big." And he goes, "Just accept it. I'm sorry, like, just who cares, who cares? We're something like already we stop it, that's it, so you know very well, like, something if it doesn't no, just forget it. So just I'm sorry when I hurt you, that's it, I'm sorry."
Yeah. Like, "I'm sorry, let's just move on." He just wants to
He
skate over
said
this.
I literally paused it because the words he says, I'm going to and I understand English is a second language, I'm not
Mhm,
making fun
yeah,
of that, but
yeah.
this is what he says. "Just who cares? Who cares? We something already, we stop. No, that's it. You know very well, like something if it doesn't, just forget. Just I'm sorry for when I hurt you. That's it, just I'm sorry."
Yeah, he's just trying to avoid having this guy,
Ari
she's
is
going
right.
nowhere with him. She's
Ari is
going
right.
nowhere with this.
He is a bad dude.
Yeah,
He is not grown up. He does not wanna have a relationship. He has now had 2 babies with 2 different women that have fled from him.
yeah.
So, Ari tells Sarah, she goes, so the problem here is actually he's lying.
Mm.
He's lying about the dates, and he's lying about the whole thing, so it's not even an apology." And he goes, "Oh, so I'm thinking about, like, talking about for the date, like, even tomorrow is yesterday."
Yeah,
No, Benny.
she is never going to get the truth out of this guy.
Never.
He doesn't know how to have difficult conversations.
Nope.
He avoids conflict.
Yep.
You're never gonna have a conversation with him. That's true.
And he says, "I just want to apologize, okay?" And the talking head, she goes, "Here's the thing. Benny hates looking like a bad guy, so he softens the story. He's
Mhm,
making it sound like this happened in the beginning of our relationship, but
mhm.
it wasn't. It was when I was very, very pregnant with our son, and then after I had our son. So it's his way of saying he's sorry for that actual infidelity that happened much, much later. And I don't know, but he's apologizing and trying to protect himself at the same time. So he's trying to say, okay, I'm sorry for the infidelity, but he's trying to make it look
Mhm.
like we had just started dating and I was talking to another girl. But she's like, "No, motherfucker, we had been together for a year. We were engaged and I was pregnant."
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
If you're going to apologize, apologize for the shit you did, not
Yes.
maybe I was
Yes.
talking to 2 girls at once."
Nope, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And um, she says to Benny, "What I want to be clear is when you do give someone an apology," and he goes, "Okay, so she's a detective and she wants to be in the CIA or something and it has to be on
Oh,
this particular date.
Jesus.
And so I just want to say sorry."
Mhm.
And she just looks at Sarah and Sarah says, "A lot of these moments have been challenging to bring up and to own up to. And just starting the process of apologizing and owning up is a start.
No, it's
And,
not.
and so that could lead to more expansion." And Ari's like, "You're not hearing me, girl. I could lead this therapy session."
If I was a therapist, I would say to both of these people, we need to go back to like
Yeah.
ground back to help me. Square
Ground
one.
zero, square one.
Square one.
Yeah.
Here's what I want. I want each of you to express how you're feeling without the other person interrupting you. Like that's how basic
Yeah.
you have to start with these two. Like Benny, I just want you to hear her.
Yeah.
I you don't need to do anything else.
But
I
he's not
just want
hearing
you
her.
to absorb it.
He's not hearing
He's
her.
not hearing her. They're
Mm-mm.
talking at each other, past each other, and I don't know. Sarah's not equipped to handle this. I'm sorry.
Sarah, no.
Mm-mm.
Sarah says, "Look, all of you should take ownership in your part of things. And if that happens, your relationships will flourish."
Okay.
Okay, Sarah, it's not
Okay.
that easy.
I've been in therapy a long fucking time.
Yeah.
I everything she was saying, I was kind of like, that doesn't sound right.
Where's
This
Heidi?
doesn't feel right.
Where's Heidi?
No, we need the big guns. We need therapist James.
We need Heidi. We need
Mhm.
James.
Mhm.
I'll
Yeah.
even take Reba.
Yeah. Right.
Um, so Brandon and Julia go off to the side, and is talking to Ed. He's like, "Yeah, I
He's
wish she would."
devastated,
He's
Mary
like, "I
Jane.
kind of wish she would have never told me."
He's
Yeah,
walking around like a little boy lost.
yeah, he is.
Mhm.
Although, again, I said this last week, Julia looks really cute in those sunglasses.
She's great.
She's so cute. So, her tongue piercing bothers me, but that's a me thing.
Mhm.
So he says, "This thing was not in my brain." Like,
Mhm.
literally, he's like, "I haven't thought about it." He goes,
Mhm.
"But now it is." And she goes, "But, we're here for therapy. We're here for the truth." And he says, "If it's beneficial."
Mm.
And she goes, "But we toxic, Brandon. We toxic. We got to let the toxic go outside of us, Brandon." And she
Mhm.
says, "We not have sex. We not talk to each other. We toxic." And he says, "The sex thing is on you. So
Mhm.
you created the toxicity." Now,
Mhm.
I take umbrage with that
I do
because,
too.
yeah, the sex thing is on her if she doesn't want to have sex, but there's a reason.
There's a reason behind
It's
it,
not
right?
just all of a sudden one day she's repulsed by him,
She
you
didn't
know?
just wake up asexual. Like,
Yeah.
there's something going on, and yeah, I agree.
But he's so upset. He's like, "You're creating the toxicity with the no sex." And
Mm-mm.
she says, "So when she said for my brain just to go into that door, I said, I'm stuck on that door." And he goes, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He goes, "A door, I don't know." So he goes, "I don't want to talk." And he walks off and he cries. And we actually see some real tears from Brandon and real tears from Julia. Not fake, Jasmine tears.
And I also think that just because you're not having sex doesn't make your relationship toxic. When I think of
No.
toxic,
Oh God.
I think of like Ari and Benny.
Ari and Benny.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like
Or
you're
Jasmine and Gino. Yeah.
like you can't communicate. When you do communicate, you're insulting each other.
Yeah.
Like it's I think Julia, because English is her second language, is using the wrong word there, and I think Brandon is trying to tie it into sex because that's all he's thinking about.
Yeah, I don't think their relationship is toxic. I mean, I think
Mm-mm.
it's yeah, no, they're not bad for each other,
No, no.
So they are not contestants on PBU.
Correct. Correct. We don't wanna see
Um,
them there.
so Brandon is putting up his own tent. He's gonna sleep in his own tent. And he's like, "I just need time, like by myself. I need time to get past this." They all have on their headlamps, which Amy said
Mhm.
last week is a staple in their home.
Yes,
Headlamps.
yes, we have them. Mhm,
I've only got them for my kids for like gag Christmas gifts in their stockings so they could like
mhm.
make forts and climb around.
Well, when you have to go down to the pond and clear out the beaver dam
Mm,
because your pond is backing up in the middle of the night, you need
mm.
it. The other night, Timmy and I had to go out and pump the septic.
Your life is just
It
something
sucks.
I could not
It's
do.
smelly, terrible.
No,
Yeah,
I couldn't do
something
any of
happened
that.
to our septic and it overflowed and we had to go up there. So it is about 5 degrees. It's about midnight, and we're out there pumping out the septic tank. Oh, yeah.
Farm life is not for me,
Mhm,
girl, and I
mhm.
know you don't live on a farm.
No.
Okay, so Benny's making the fire. He explains. He goes, "I do the fire in the circus." So, I mean,
Yeah.
Benny's a little bit like Ingrid, producer Ingrid, who can
Mhm.
do anything. If
Yeah,
Ingrid said
yeah.
to you, "Yeah, I do fire in the circus," you'd be like, "All right."
See, I feel like Amanda's kinda like that, my
Mm,
co-host, like,
yeah,
anything I say, she'll be like, "Oh, I took a class in card reading. Oh, I took a class in fire eating.
yeah,
Oh, I did." Yeah, she's like that too.
and you're always like,
She's a joiner and a trier.
Uh, like, when I was talking to Keisha this week, I said, "Well," I was, like, joking about all the edits that are gonna have to be done on episode
Mhm.
3 for Love Is Blind. I go, "Hey, poor Ingrid." I go, "She's just trying to go to Park City." She goes, "Why is she there?" I said, "Skiing." She's like, "Of course she's skiing."
You're
Um,
gonna get hurt, girl. Stop it.
no, that's her husband. He
Okay.
tears an Achilles, an
Okay.
ACL,
Alright.
hip,
Okay. I don't
eh
even know if I have an ACL, do I? We all do.
yeah, you do, yeah, mhm. I
I've
tore my
never seen
MCL.
it or used it.
I tore my MCL. The ACL's on the inside of the knee, the MCL's on the
Okay.
outside of the knee.
Okay. Alright.
Somebody is going to write me and say, "Oh my God, why are you so dumb? That's not right." I'm
Mhm.
just saying it in basic things that Amy and I can understand,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta get down to basics here.
Talking head. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Brandon putting us on to okay, talking head, this is she, Natalie. Natalie says, Josh is not really putting an effort into our issues, but hey, he's still here. He hasn't left yet.
Okay.
She just needs basic. He is staying for one evening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, do you think the bangs in that tent? Because I do.
Speaking of banging, they did look very cozy. I don't know if his girlfriend's watching, but
I hope
speaking of
not.
banging,
Mhm.
there is this little quick scene on Between the Sheets where Sophie and Julia are talking about Gino and Jasmine. And Julia says Gino has a lot of money in his bank account, and that's why the banging is happening. And then Julia
The
at
banging
some
isn't happening.
yes, yes, yes. And then at some point, Jasmine says Brandon eats ass and
Yeah.
has given Julia the dark kiss.
Yep, she did say that,
And
and
I thought about your visor.
Jasmine 1 moment.
You have to tell
Jas
people who might not be familiar about the visor.
Jasmine says it to Brandon. She says,
Yeah,
I know
I
you've
know you
given
gave her the
Julia"
dark kiss. Mhm.
um, only available at Christmas. Um, you guys, the story of this is when Aaron and I first opened our Pink Shade store, it was when Ingrid kind of came on as producer and was helping us out and opened a Pink Shade store. I placed an order at the store for like stickers and just
Mhm,
merch,
mhm.
right?
Yep.
Just merch,
Fun stuff.
fun
Fun
stuff because I
fun,
wanted,
lighthearted things.
yeah, like a blanket or like this pillow over here. I was like, I'm going to order some things for my office and I'm going to see how it comes because I want to see
Yep.
how a listener would receive it. I want to make sure it looked okay when it arrived, right? So I
Yes.
just placed an order, sent it to my house, and it arrived. I opened it up, like my pillows in there, my stickers. I'm like, great. And it had like the little note that I wanted to have, like, thank you for buying from the store with our logo, all the
Mhm.
stuff. And then in the bottom of that box was this. And it is a black visor with white letters, if you're not watching on video, that says, I eat ass. Now, obviously, that's not an item that we sell, nor is it branded with like our colors or anything.
No.
It's a black visor with white bold letters, I eat ass.
Mhm, mhm,
And I thought, okay, well, Erin, my co-host at the time, she obviously did something to my order and like added that in. How she cut
mhm,
out, it was
mhm,
like my
mhm,
somehow I was like, or Ingrid did it. Like, this is a
mhm. You
joke.
thought it was a joke.
100% thought it was a joke.
Mhm.
So I waited until we were recording
To
and
bring it out.
to bring it out. And I said,
Mhm.
this is funny. Like, this is what I received. And it's the funniest shit ever because not only did neither one of them do that to me, it was just a complete mistake. So, it's some like, we go through Printful and they have the things and then somebody orders them and it's on demand. They send you whatever you order.
Mhm.
But somebody, a robot, went into the factories like reet, reet, reet,
Mm.
pulled the things off the shelves and went to somebody else's merch and sent us an I eat ass
So
visor.
there's Mary Payne strolling around in her little caftan on Bald Head Island with an I eat ass visor.
No, but I tried, and this was years ago, so I tried to like hide it so that my
Mhm.
daughter specifically wouldn't see it because I knew she would just have a fucking field day with that. And she would probably want to take it to school and but she did eventually find out about it. So every so often she'll come in here and just put it on.
Mm.
But we do sell it in the Pink Shade store
It's
only at
limited times, yes.
only only during the holidays.
Okay, so everybody get one at Christmas.
Yeah. If you
Mhm.
really want one, let me know and Ingrid can put it in the store because it's there. You just have to like add it to the store. But anyway, yeah,
Oh,
so
it's so great, so great
apparently Julia told Jasmine
that she
that
wears the visor. She eats ass, or
that
he eats ass, I'm sorry.
Brandon has
Mhm.
given her the dark kiss.
Mhm.
And Brandon's like, "What? Oh my god." Oh god, what a
Could you
sidebar.
imagine, like, you're on a show and, like, they have the camera on Timmy and he's telling people, like, some stuff I've done? I'd be like, "Oh my god, what?"
I it's okay.
You
So,
just don't expect things that are under the cloak of darkness to be talked about on national television.
no, but
No.
Brandon
Mm.
he was like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, okay.
So Ari and Benny and Josh and Natalie and Gino sit by the fire and they ask Julia where Brandon is. And she goes, "Oh, he's making his own tent for the night." And I put this on my Instagram because this was such an office moment. This was
Mhm.
like on The Office when somebody says something and they do like a quick zoom in
Yep, on the person's face,
on the
on the
person.
reaction.
But usually it's like this one was not like Jim looking at the camera.
Right.
This
It's
was
like
more like from the side. And I was like, tell me you're not a fan of The Office. This was such a moment. Anyway, I guess it's on my Instagram. So Josh looks at her and goes, yeah, I thought Ari and Benny would have separate tents before you two would. And the camera zooms in on Julia going, and it
and
also
they
looks at
zoom in
Ari
on
and
Ari.
Benny. It looks at Ari and Benny going like, fuck off, dude.
Oh,
Oh
it's
God, it was
funny.
funny. So Brandon and Rob are talking while he's setting up his tent, and he goes, "Yeah, I just wish she would have never told me. I wish I never knew this."
Men's rights, man.
And
Men's rights, bro.
he says we were definitely dating. He
Mm.
says we had filed the K-1 visa when it happened.
Mhm.
We were committed. He doesn't say engaged here.
Okay.
He says we were dating and
Mhm.
committed.
Mhm.
And of course, Rob in his talking head says, "I get it. I get it. It's just
Mm.
like me. Like, you don't know. You're at the government's whim. Like, are they going to approve it or not? I mean,
Yeah.
we were waiting on government approval. Like, I had to go online and do online cheating because I get
Right.
it.
I mean, you put in for the K-1 visa, and I mean, you might not know for like a year. I
Yeah.
can't keep my dick out of things for a year.
What are
Come
you going
on,
to
it's gonna get
do?
cold.
Of course you're going to cheat. Duh.
Jesus.
Brandon, man up. So they start to make s'mores. Now, they also have potatoes there and corn. Now, they did not offer, from what I could see, tinfoil to wrap the potatoes.
They did have no, he was okay, because
But
somebody
the
was doing the corn in the husk.
but the corn, you're doing it in the husk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now maybe they did have tinfoil there for the potatoes. What they should have done is pre-wrap the potatoes in tinfoil because
Yeah.
Natalie puts her potato in the fire. And when I say
It just chars the outside.
she fully has cancer now. She's just eating those carcinogens. She's just eating.
Yeah.
You can't eat things that are that burnt, guys. It will
What she
come
should
back
have
to bite
done
you.
is you chop it up,
Mhm.
you salt and pepper it, and then you put it in a cast iron pan over the fire.
Okay, that's a lot of work. She just decided she didn't want a marsh a
Mhm.
marsh. And so she's used to having potatoes. She grew up. I go Russia. She's used to having potatoes, so she burns it
Well,
to a
she's in Ukraine, and she said, "This is a cultural thing. We eat potatoes all the time over the fire. Not a big deal."
right. But
I don't know.
also, why didn't she peel off the burnt part? Like she could have eaten the potato. She could have like just
Yeah, she should have peeled the skin. Yeah.
yeah. So
I don't know.
anyway, she's just eating a burnt potato, and it's just comedic gold. In the on between the sheets, she's like, "What? Nobody telling me? I got a burnt potato all over my face." It's like, "Ha ha! There she is. Nobody telling me." I was like,
And
"You
they
know
did
what?
this whole thing where they had them make s'mores with the
The
little
s'mores."
fake
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
on
Yep.
between the sheets.
And
Yeah.
there was a whole thing about Jasmine putting ketchup on corn,
Ew.
which, yeah, I agree.
And
Not great.
then they made everybody try weird food, and I did like how Rob was like, "Is this like 90 Day Fear Factor?"
Yeah.
They had to eat an onion, like,
Yeah.
uh-uh. So, Rob makes Sophie like a burned marshmallow s'more. He's trying to explain to her that sometimes the burned part is
Mhm.
good, and she's like, "I gotta say, eating s'mores is disgusting, but a burned potato is grosser." Um,
S'mores are amazing, by the way.
S'mores are amazing, and it has to burn just a smidge, but you gotta get it just
Yes.
right. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
So, Stacey and Florian sit and talk about the hypnosis.
Mhm.
And she goes, "Oh my God." I was like conked out. He's like, "Oh, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, I totally." And you could see her, you know.
Yeah.
And Jasmine approaches and it's like, "Can I come and sit with you?" And he's like, "Oh, fuck."
Can I just real quick, before Jasmine sits down,
Yes.
Florian tells the camera, "I no talk to Jasmine since fight happened. I hope Jasmine come in like grown woman, talk in peace. I no want to fight her. Somebody like come nice, I'm gonna be nice, Somebody come bad, I'm gonna make fucking nightmare."
Yeah. Yeah.
Mary Payne, I'm terrified of Florian making a fucking nightmare
Me too.
on me.
Me too.
Whatever that looks like.
Me too. Um, so Jasmine, oh wait, hold on.
She
Da,
does
da, da,
come
da,
nice.
da, da,
I'm
da, da,
sorry, I
da.
threw you off. I know.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. So they talk about the hypnosis, and she comes and sits down, and this is when he says, "I hope she comes in peace. If somebody come nice, I'm nice. Somebody come bad, I'm going to make fucking nightmare."
Fucking nightmare.
Jasmine tells Florian, "Look, here's what we have in common. We both love Stacy, and
And
I know,
Stacey's like, I know,
I know, thank
thank
you,
you,
thank
thank
you.
you.
And Jasmine says, "I know indirectly I've caused tension and also directly. Um, and I just want to take accountability for my part and what I've
Mhm,
done here." In
mhm,
her talking head, she says, "I've realized that I've taken my marriage frustration, my frustration with Gina out on others.
mhm,
And the
mhm,
hypnotherapy showed me that there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. You just recognize it, apologize,
mhm,
and move on."
mhm.
And he says, "Thank you for apologizing. Like, I have no nothing personal. Like, I know Hoochie personal. Like, Gino having fun, my point. Like, I know, to fix these issues, here, but like, gotta let loose nights sometimes. Like,
Mhm.
I know you true no try to hurt him, but sometimes you think before you talk in your head. You think it's good?
And he's
You
pointing
say,
to his brain again
yeah.
like he always
You,
does.
yeah, you think it's good. You say to him, you think, oh, somebody say to me, I'm going to be bad. No way. You don't say it to him. You
Mm,
know my point? Think before you talk. You know my point.
mhm, mhm.
Now it's time for some Pink Shade Playhouse,
Yep.
and this is when we get Stacy and Florian in the, talking head together,
Mhm, mhm,
discussing when Jasmine came to sit down. Okay,
mhm. Let me get my script. I usually ad lib, but I'm gonna try to follow
follow
the script here.
follow the script. Okay, you're
Mhm.
Florian, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I was shocked, but Jasmine came over, she wanted to make amends, and I was just, I just think she's being the bigger person
A bigger person, a nice person,
and
and,
make up for all the drama and everything,
all the drama and everything,
and I
yeah.
respect her for that.
And I respect her for that, that I'm gonna talk like a doll with her.
A doll, a doll.
Like adult, like adult doll.
Oh, okay, adult. Okay. And scene. And scene.
He just repeats her.
He repeats everything she says, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
hilarious. They are
yeah,
talking over it is so funny.
yeah.
So Jasmine says, "Yeah, I never thought Gino and I would
Mm,
end up like this." And Florian goes, "I got you. I'll talk to him. I'm gonna talk to him for you. And
bro code.
I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna talk to him because that's between the bros,
Mhm,
but I
mhm,
will
mhm.
talk to him."
Yeah.
And Jasmine, by the way, 5 stars for Jasmine. She played this shit exactly right.
Yes, she did.
If she's trying to get to Gino, the way to get to Gino is Florian, so you're gonna have to make him as a Florian,
Right?
even though you fucking hate him.
The way to get to Gino's through his heart, Florian.
That's right.
Mhm,
And Jasmine says, "Florian, I feel like you might be my last hope because he's not being honest with me and he's not being honest with the therapist. So maybe
mhm,
he could be open and honest with one person, and that would be the
mhm,
first step," meaning you, Florian, not
mhm.
his wife. And the talking head, Jasmine says they've been there for 2 weeks and made no progress, and Florian is the only person he'll listen to. It's
Mm.
crazy. Now, Natalie is eating a burnt potato. She's got burnt potato all over her face. Remember last week I was like, I don't know what was all over her face. Like, did she stick her face in the fire? No,
Oh, this
it's
is so
all
something that would happen to me.
it's all in her
Black teeth,
teeth.
black lips, everything.
It is awful.
Mhm.
And Sophie says, he does not want her.
Nope.
And then we see Brandon pick up his backpack and go to his tent. And Julia says to Sophie, "Should I talk to him? Should I leave him alone?" And Sophie goes, "I think you should give him space." And Brandon,
Why are we listening to Sophie about
I
relationship advice? I have no idea, but
that
okay.
was my question was
Mhm.
these 2 don't turn to anybody else.
Yes, yes.
So Brandon's like, "I just want to go to sleep." And he goes, "I've never cheated. How is this fair to me?" Like he's like, "I could have
Mm.
been banging chicks the whole time." So Stacy and Florian come to the fire. Natalie is eating that burnt potato. It's all over her face and her teeth.
Yes,
And she goes, "Some people don't even have potato." I'm being
that's
respectful.
true. She's
I'm
right.
I I have to eat it because yeah,
She's right. There's people out there who can't even afford a potato.
that's right. And Jasmine says, "Josh, how is it you're the only person who has nothing to apologize for?" And he goes, "Yeah, I don't know. It's more like I don't have like a major thing to say I'm sorry for." And Jasmine
This
goes, "It's because you don't see this woman as your partner." Yeah,
ding, ding, ding.
nailed it. The talking head, Natalie says, "I appreciate Jasmine for standing up to me, but it's not needed in this moment. Everyone here is happy, and she's provoking me because she doesn't want to deal with her own problems with her own husband."
Yeah, Natalie is like, we need to let sleeping dogs lie. Natalie.
Natalie
Okay.
is so happy he's being nice to her for those
Yeah.
5
She's like,
minutes.
I just want to keep this rolling. He's
Yeah,
he's actually here. So
He's
I just
here.
wanna
By
yeah.
the way, when they showed that close up of Brandon grabbing the backpack to walk off, I 100% thought it was Josh taking his backpack and sneaking off to his house
Yeah.
with his girlfriend,
Yep. Yep.
but it was Brandon. Um, and Josh says, "Look, we're trying to work on a committed relationship. We're trying. That's why
Mhm.
we're here."
Mhm.
And Jasmine goes, "Look, I'm not telling you what to do, Natalie. I'm here to work on my own shit. But he doesn't look at you as a partner. All you want is to have a family and get married. And when this guy gives you the leftovers, you're like a puppy. You're so desperate."
Ugh.
And when I tell you, Natalie says the best line of the whole episode, she says, "Okay, so that's fine because I like puppies. Puppies are cute. Can I have my wine? If you're going to insult me, at least I'm going to be drunk. Can I have my wine? If you're going to insult
I
me,
mean, you know,
at least I'm going to be drunk."
does make it go down a little
Makes it
easier.
go down a little easier.
Mhm.
And so Jasmine says, "Natalie, last night at the party, you were so hurt and so pissed because Josh was gone."
Yep.
And Stacey goes, "Okay, hold on. Hey, Josh, did you love Natalie?" And he goes, "I've been caring for Natalie our entire relationship." And Stacey goes, "Okay, it's not what I asked. You care for her, but do you love her?" And he says, "Do you think I would do all these things if I didn't love her?" Still not answering.
Still not answering.
And Natalie says, you know, I'm a sadistic kind of a person. And sometimes I like to make the pain and I like to get it."
Yeah, this was weird. She kind of undermined her entire argument in
Yep.
this 1 minute by saying like, "Well, I kinda like playing the game."
And
Okay.
Rob goes, "So you like it? You like the drama?" And she goes, "You know, I have to feel. It's like when I have feelings, I feel alive." And Rob goes, "So you like to feel hurt?" And she goes, "Yes, it's love is a game. It's like who wins. It's great. Like a chess. You like to play? Do you like to play?"
So is this after she says this, is this what makes you think that she's in on this the entire time? Okay.
No, I think she's been in on it the entire time. We've seen so much evidence in the past of people screenshotting her DMs like, "I will pay you to be my boyfriend on this show."
It's just so weird because we know that what Natalie well, I mean, maybe we don't know. Now I'm questioning reality. We've known that Natalie has wanted a family and that she's like up against some invisible clock that she has put on herself. So like why is she wasting her time?
Because she's actually trying to find a real boyfriend in real time, but continuing to get paid by this show.
Or maybe her real want is to be on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
She's an actress and a real good one we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Sophie goes regarding the chess comment. Sophie goes, "This is not a game. This is serious therapy. Like we're all
Mhm.
here for serious therapy." And Jasmine goes, "Marriage is not a game. This is some serious shit."
Okay, Jasmine, sit down.
But they're all actually like married, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And Jasmine says, "They're not really interested in therapy and we don't want them here. This therapy should be for people who are still trying. It's a waste of
Mhm.
time. Time is priceless right now. Some of these marriages aren't going to end up on the best terms."
Do you think they're gonna get voted off the island?
I hope so
Yeah.
because, you know, in the new promos, Josh is not in the picture,
I know.
which is weird that Natalie would still be in the. Do they decide she's so fucked up she needs to just be here? We're going to put her with Sarah.
Well, I think that she is a ratings get,
Yeah.
so you leave her in the promotional materials,
Yeah.
but Josh is such a D-bag that you take him out.
I hope they get voted off the island. I really, really do.
I mean, that would add a whole new aspect to the game that I would enjoy.
Yeah. And so Natalie goes, "What are we talking about me? Let's talk about somebody else." And
Mm,
Jasmine goes, "I don't want to open up in front of you anymore because you're not here for serious therapy. I'm not comfortable with you." And Josh goes, "Okay, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on,
mm.
potato face. Let's get out of here. They can't open up if we're here. So let's go." And she's
Yeah, he's doing the
okay.
passive aggressive, like, "Oh, let's let the little people open up. Let's go
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Fuck off."
Um, and the talking head, Rob goes, "Yeah, I don't know. Like Natalie being calm and walking away is scarier than her
Scarier.
blowing up." And Sophie goes, "Yeah, it's creepy."
Mhm,
Josh and Natalie walk off laughing. And she's like, "Okay, love is in the air. Cool. Do I
mhm,
have something on my teeth? Do I
mhm.
have something on my face?" Um, and Sophie goes, "She's insane." And Ari goes, "I don't want her to feel like we're piling up on her, but I just can't take any more drama."
Mm.
So they're like, "What do we do about this fire?" And Benny goes, "Everybody go to bed. I'm gonna put it out. I was in the circus one time." And Jasmine goes, "I'm gonna go hang out with Julia for a bit." And she's like, "Gino, do you care? I'll be in there later. I'm gonna hang out with Julia." And Julia's like, "Can she hang out with me?" And Gino's like, "Fine." Why the fuck would Gino care?
I have no idea.
That was weird.
Yeah.
So we get a bunch of quick clips, okay? Ari, and Benny, Benny's like, "No, I'm gonna be over here." She was like, "It's cold. Will you cuddle with me?" He's like, "No."
Mm-mm.
Um,
She's like, "Are
J
you kidding me?" He's like, "Good night."
yeah. He's like, "Good night. I don't care. Put on some
Mhm.
extra layers." Josh is plucking potato off of Natalie's face, and they're cuddling.
They're
But I
cuddling
mean,
and they're, like, laughing and stuff.
that was like, okay, these two are in fact just fuck buddies.
Maybe?
Jasmine talks to Julia, and Jasmine says, "I haven't seen Brandon like that. He really seems sad." And Julia goes, "He empty. He empty. I'm
Mhm.
giving him space." Now she has no sleeping bag.
Mm-mm.
So I was like, she's just like, "I'm from Ukraine. I'm gonna go Russia. I'm just
She's
going to
just gonna
sleep
lay on the floor.
just lay on the hard floor with burnt potato. It's fine."
Mhm. Mhm.
So the next morning there are donkeys around.
Horny
And
donkeys, apparently.
I don't know why they're horny,
Mhm.
but there's donkeys
Mhm.
around, and they're like, Jasmine and Gino are laughing in their tent
Didn't
about the
Jasmine say
donkeys.
they were horny, or did I fever dream that?
No, somebody said they were horny.
Okay. Alright.
But Jasmine and Gino were kind of laughing about the donkeys,
Yes.
but
Yes.
we noticed the wall of suitcases between
Yeah,
them.
they talk about that in between the sheets, and Jasmine says, "Gino put this wall between us." Gino says, "Well, Jasmine could have broken down the wall if she wanted to. I guess she doesn't want to." Wow.
Yeah, no. Um,
Oof.
so Jasmine's like, "Oh my God, I had such a restless night. There's so many weird noises and external factors." And they joke about Gino farting because they love to talk about that stuff.
Another thing that happened that I loved was Florian played a prank on Stacy with a scorpion. Did you see that on Between the Sheets?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so great. First of all, 2 things. Florian gets up in the middle of the night, he's like, "I got to go pee." And she's like, "No, Flo, no, don't go, Flo, don't go." And he's like, I go pee. You be okay. I'll be right back." So he goes. And she's like me, like she can't get up. She has to like do several times to get herself up.
The rocking motion to get
Yes,
yourself up. Yeah.
yes. So she finally like hoists herself up, and she's like looking on the tent. She's like, "Flo, Flo, where are you? Where are you?" And she sees the scorpion. She's like, "Ah!" She like loses her shit. It's so great.
She jumps backwards, rolls herself into a sleeping
Yep,
bag like
loved
a
it.
burrito. Yeah.
Loved it.
So, okay, Natalie and Josh are like, he's like, "Oh God, it's hot." So I guess it must be like super hot when they wake up and then cold when they go to sleep. I'm just like, go back to the
Maybe.
hotel, get the
Yeah.
AC set on 70 and live your life.
Yes.
Um, so Sarah, why is she still
Mm,
there?
mm,
Sarah goes to get Brandon and Julia to like have a one-on-one session.
mhm.
And then Josh says, "Natalie was tossing and turning all night, and like I was hot and I don't sleep well, like she's touching me." Oh. Um, Rob says, "I love the camping side. I love nature." Did you see somebody posted recently that Rob is on Hinge and one of the things he says he loves is nature?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rob says he loves the camping side of it, but Sophie is like being super weird and pissed off this morning. I have no idea why. Could have been because my phone screen was keeping her awake all night with all the sexting I was
Could
doing.
have been.
Um, and Stacy comes up and goes, "Yeah, I woke up not feeling good, but I zhuzhed myself up. Here I am. Sassy Stacy. Let's go.
Full
Woo,
spandex outfit.
let's go."
Full spandex. Mhm.
And Florian, he's entertained by her. He looks up, he's like, "Yeah, there
Like,
she is."
"Oh,
Oh,
Stacy."
Stace. So then Jasmine goes to talk to Sophie, and she says, Sophie says, "It's a lot happening with Rob, and no one sees it because he's been nice to everyone. But
Mhm.
basically, I saw on his phone he's been online cheating. He's been texting the
Mhm.
whole time we've been here. He's not taking it seriously. Like all that shit I left him over, he's still doing it. And then I found this." She says it to Jasmine on the phone. And she goes, "He's not trying to be with me." And Jasmine's like, "What?" Does this
I
crazy
know,
face.
and it's something like he's like, "Are you down for adventure?"
He says, "You're down to be adventurous? Let's
Yeah.
explore."
Yeah.
And Jasmine's like, "Fucking asshole." Now
Mhm.
explain what happened on Between the Sheets about this.
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
I don't have
All
it.
right, I'll explain it.
I think he was saying that I go ahead, you
Well,
explain it, and I
well,
can fill
first,
in if
well, first of all, he goes, "You know what? that's the day that I said, "I don't fuck with Jasmine. This is my marriage she's messing with."
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Excuse me,
He's
sir.
all angry. He's all pissed off at Jasmine because Jasmine revealed what happened.
Excuse me, sir.
Mhm.
Jasmine went up to say, "Sophie, are you okay?"
Yeah.
And Sophie says, "Look, he's been doing this the whole time we've been here, and you guys just don't know about it because he's nice to everybody's face. And this morning I found this." So I think Sophie has known the entire time that he's doing this. She was like,
Yeah.
we're in therapy, and he's looking down at his phone, like literally texting with bitches.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't write down what he found between the sheets. Was it just he was denying it?
Oh, he's like, this is the day I knew I don't fuck with Jasmine. I was like,
Okay.
what?
Okay.
But what Jasmine said was that when she saw all the text, it was tons of texts to different
Oh, yes.
girls.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
not a man that's married, it's a man that's single. She goes, "Not one particular thing was bad, but it was fishing."
And
It's
the
like,
amount of it.
it's
Mhm.
I'm gonna put out a bunch of different lines till I catch a fish. So it's like a single guy.
Which ironically is exactly what Josh did to Sophie. And if you
Yes.
remember,
Yes.
Rob was like, "Oh, you're fishing. You're fishing." Like he immediately identified the behavior because he's
Yes.
doing it.
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
exactly right.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what happened. And so Jasmine explaining it, like it wasn't like one girl that he's like, "You're my
Mhm.
girlfriend. I'm in love with you. I can't wait to see." It wasn't like
Mhm.
that. It was more just like anybody that DM'd him, he was writing back, "Well, you look good. You're adventurous. Let's explore." He was doing fishing. She's like, he's fishing, fishing, fishing until he's gonna get probably a local hit or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next time on, Sarah talks to Brandon and Julia and asks, "Is it possible to move forward?" And he says, "The only safe space I have is Julia. And
Yeah.
now I feel like I want to push you away." And he cries. And
I
that was
kind of
real.
feel I kind of feel like they're the Asuelu and Kalani of the season. Like
Mm,
this is true for them, I think.
yeah. Yeah. Kalani just posted a picture of like 2 years with her new guy and a picture of their baby
Yeah.
and a picture of that guy with her sons.
Yeah. Yep.
So Sophie says to Rob in front of the group, again, why is he blaming Jasmine? I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
but Sophie says to Rob in front of the group, "It's been very difficult for me in my marriage with Rob, and you've done so much fucked up shit to me, and I've kept it to myself because I do care about you, but you was cheating." And he
Loses his mind.
stands up very mad and says, "Let's be very fucking clear. You want to use that shit? You want to put me in the corner? I'm fucking done."
Yeah, it
And
was
he's
nobody puts Rob in the corner.
nobody puts
Okay.
baby in the
Yeah.
corner, and
Yep.
he's storming off. "Oh, fuck off." He's running off to the desert
Mhm.
like he does.
Mhm.
And he turns around and goes, "You know, you had a fucking real one." Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
okay. Um, Natalie is hysterically yelling at Josh, saying, "Guys, guys, I want you all to hear. Say what you say. Say what you say." And he goes, I didn't say anything. I said, I just don't want to be touched." And she's like, "Don't open your mouth about my body. How could you do this to
Yeah.
me? Don't fucking open your mouth about my body."
Yeah, what happened?
I think he was hot and she was trying to snuggle. And he's like, "Please don't touch me. Like, I'm so hot. Like, I don't want your sticky body on my sticky body."
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's a good theory.
Yeah. And I think he's just like, I'm sweating. And when she starts
Mhm.
just like, "You tell everybody what you say." And he goes, "Okay, here we go."
Okay, all right.
He literally goes, "Here we go."
Here we go.
He's standing over by a production van like, "Bass, I'm on base."
Yes,
That's what he
yes,
does
yes.
because that's what we do sometimes with the dogs. When the dogs are chasing
Mhm,
each other around and one of them gets a little
mhm.
aggressive, one of them will go and jump on the back of the couch. And every time we're like, "Base, I'm on base."
I haven't thought about that in years,
You
yes.
know? And you know how you do that when you play
Yeah,
games like,
oh yeah,
"I've
oh
got
yeah.
one hand on base."
Yeah.
Um, so he's over on base and she's still like, don't talk about my body." And he's
Mm,
like, "What?" And
mm.
as she's yelling, "Don't talk about my body," um, Benny is standing next to her like, "It's okay, calm down, crazy pants." And Florian walks up and he's just smiling. All you can see is those teeth.
Florian.
He's like, "Oh no, what Natalie say now?" So now we see Ari is crying and
Mhm.
Sarah says, "Are you okay?" And this is after the Sophie and Rob thing. And she says, "No,
No.
this is very traumatic for me because everything
Mm.
Sophie is going through, I've been through." Ari, girl,
And nobody cares.
nobody cares. Ari's inner talking head says, I don't know why everybody can see that Rob treats Sophie so poorly, but they can't see that Benny treats me the exact same way and nobody cares. I can't do it. And she walks off.
I think it's because of you, Ari. I think it's just the whole Ari of it all.
And I feel bad for Ari
I do
again
too. I
because
do
she's
too.
been treated so bad by
But
this
she's not
guy.
in the hearts and minds of people because I don't know. She just isn't. I don't know what she's doing wrong.
I I don't either.
Mm-mm.
So, Jasmine says to Gino, they're in the room, and she says, with the hypnotherapies, I don't think that's what you were going to say because I know you.
Mm.
That's not what you were apologizing for. So, what was it? Will you tell me? And he says, all right, I'll tell you. And he starts crying, and it's the second set of real tears we saw on the show because it was
Yeah.
Brandon and then him. It's not a Jasmine
No,
school
it's
of
real
drama.
tears.
Gino had an emotion. He has a tear. What's it going to be? Prediction.
So here's what I think. I think Gino and Jasmine have come on to Last Resort knowing that they're breaking up and they
And then they're
wanted to
already broken up.
yeah, they wanted to squeeze one last season out of this because in real time Jasmine is with someone else and pregnant with their child,
Allegedly.
allegedly, which
Mhm.
I believe and you don't. Right? You didn't believe? I believed.
I don't know what I believe. I got to tell you
Okay.
the truth. I don't know. I don't know
So
what I
I
believe.
think that they're staging the breakup, the final breakup. So I don't know what Gino is going to say. I think it's going
Mhm.
to be, I cheated on you. Maybe he's going to say, it was about me sending your nudes to my ex girlfriend and I just couldn't talk about it because I'm so emotional. I don't know.
All of that stuff is
Mhm.
still is online with
Yeah.
Jasmine just horribly berating this girl
Yes. Yes.
that Gino gave the nudes to. And the girl says, I never sent them anywhere or posted
No.
them anywhere. He sent them to me to make me jealous. And she's just like, you're ugly. You're a whore. You're a bitch. You're disgusting. You're fat. You're old. Look at
Jesus
your
Christ.
wrinkles. You have gray hair. I mean, when I tell you, she's like, you have that one ugly toenail. I saw that on your left ear was slightly
Mhm.
disfigured. When I tell you, she rips this girl from head to toe with literally this girl's like, all I did was receive these pictures and it's not my
Yeah.
fault. Like, I have a good day. Good day, sir. I don't know you.
Yeah.
Um,
Gotcha.
that girl has been all over online too. But the word is that someone on Reddit or whatever was at a restaurant. Gina was there with a brunette loudly talking about what's going to happen at this reunion.
Ooh.
Did you not see this?
No.
Oh, this woman was like, I was at the table. Like, I see him around town.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I have in the past seen Jasmine quite a bit and seen them together. But he was at a table with a different brunette, loudly telling all about what happened at the reunion, that Jasmine walks onto the stage with the new boo pregnant,
Mm.
and that she and Florian have like practically have a fist fight.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't
She
wait.
and Florian have a screaming match over it because he's
Okay.
like, come on, Gino. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know what
All right.
Florian says. That's Florian's line. Come on, Gino.
Well, because she come in hot, and so he make fucking nightmare.
You make fucking nightmare. You come
Mhm.
at me bad, I make fucking nightmare.
Mhm.
Can you imagine being up into club, having a great time, and you're up into club and
I'm up in the club.
you're up into club,
Mm,
okay, and you
mm,
got your drink
mm,
and you're like,
mm, mm, mm,
and you
mm,
just sort of,
mm, mm, mm.
and you bump Florian.
Oh God. Hey man, what you doing, man? I make fucking nightmare.
You fucking bitch whore! How dare you be touching me? Do you know I am on TLC? I'm a movie
I'll
star.
go get Stacy. Stacy.
For example, Stacy not here. She at home.
That's right. That's right.
It is pretty funny that when we first met Florian, he was really sort of never drank at all and wasn't a
No.
drinker and
No.
really
No.
didn't like when Darcy and Stacey got all crunk.
He didn't like the partying.
But
Mm-mm.
now he's like, what you want me to say, Gino? I live in Miami, for example. Like, you have to go
He's
out. You know
into
what
it.
I mean?
He's
Yeah,
into it. Mhm.
he's into it.
Mhm.
I'm into him. So there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
And he's into me, apparently. Hard eyes, never forget.
He's in her
All
DMs.
right. So my notes here are ask Mark about Temptation Island, how it's going to drop
Mhm.
on Netflix. And we started the recap at about minute 15 and we're at minute 1 hour and 23. So
Okay. All
we
right.
did it.
We
We
did
did it.
it. Done.
Everybody, if you're listening to this on the free feed, because this is going to be on the free feed on Tuesday, because I won't have an episode with Kimberly because of the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
You could join Pink Shade Prime. It's $5 a month. $5 a month is like 10 cents a day. I don't know.
Not bad.
It's not bad. $5 a month. You can get this episode every Friday. And Amy and I were pretty funny.
I think so.
We're good friends and we're funny.
Yeah. Yes, check and check.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
And you got a new computer. That's all
I
you need
did.
to know.
I
Yeah.
did.
Everybody, that's it. And thanks for joining us. And what's coming up on the pod this week is Monday will be Love After Lockup Crime Story. Tuesday on the free feed will be this episode here. And then next week, I've got our mutual buddy, Ryan Bailey's coming on to talk Pop and Bravo.
So you're doing Crime Story on the free feed, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, because I'm gonna send everybody over to you because we're not covering it. So
You're not covering it at all.
no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to cover it on the free feed because it's replacing Love After Lockup on Mondays for about a month. And then we're
Yeah.
going into
Love After.
Love After, the OG,
Mhm.
Love After Lockup.
We'll cover that, but we're not covering Crime Story. That's you and
Okay.
Keisha. We gotta listen
All right.
to you and Keisha.
It'll be on Mondays, everybody.
Okay.
We'll have it on video as per usual because I've decided that Keisha and I are always going to do video. And I don't know why I decided that because then
Okay.
I gotta put mascara on Mondays.
Mm.
Okay, everybody. That's it. See ya, Amy.
Bye.
Bye.
Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Bye.